Vegas, baby. February 10th, 11th, and 12th. I will be at Harrah's Casino. I was there about 6 months ago. I didn't see you there. Come on, guys. February 10th, 11th, and 12th. Come see me at Harrah's Casino. And also, don't forget, I'll be in Atlantic City on February 3rd. And I'll be at Foxwoods Casino February 4th. And I'll be at your house shortly thereafter.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Oh, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Yes, Jace, it's Thursday. Look at you. You look illicit and beautiful. Come on my boat, make love, and know why I smell like so many spices and jisms. I don't even know what that means.
That was one of the best impersonations I've ever heard. That's about one of the best Irish brogues, in fact, of anything I've ever heard in my life.
You didn't think that was Irish, did you really?
No. But
that was my bizarre Middle Eastern Sultan of Brunei.
Sounded more Latin. There was some Latin in there.
Jace.
From Peru or something
because I said
like that.
J for yes. I said Jace.
Yeah, Jace.
It's all a tell derivative.
Well, you have to, not open your mouth too much, talk like that, and then you're from.
But the guy I'm doing would open his mouth a lot because he wants lots of things in it.
Hey.
Lots of food, drugs.
It's gay hour.
Yes. Let's do illicit things to each other on my boat. Yes. Bryan Callen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Great comic. Bryan and I met. I had briefly did a show. We want to do it again. So if anybody out there listening knows anybody at Fox Television, it was on Fuel TV. It was called Master Debaters. And Bryan was a guy that I'd heard of. And then you sat down next to me on the set, and it was instant. We knew each other's DNA.
It was hilarious.
It was, right?
Finishing each other's sentences.
Yeah, okay.
Into the same shit.
I was like,
the same
wow.
humor. They'll say it's ridiculous.
But that'll happen over time with people.
I said to Todd Stashwick, who did a pilot with you, I said, what's Jay Mohr like? He goes, he's you. What do you mean, what's he like?
You're me with cauliflower ears.
And I have a beautiful body. I'm going to show you afterwards. Too bad we don't have cameras on me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm built like a human greyhound.
You are like a whippet.
I'm nothing. I got nothing. I'm a narrow guy. I've always wanted to be built like a Samoan. I want some Samoan blood.
Thank you.
I want that yellow olive skin and long hair. But
I noticed, Bryan, a lot of what you say, it always winds up coming back around to hair. On Master Debaters, one of the topics was if you could play any position in any sport for any team for like a 10, 12-year run, who would it be? And everybody's like, I'm a quarterback for the Steelers or 49ers, this. What was weird was my answer. Everyone jumped all over. I said I would be a cornerback for the Dallas Cowboys. And everybody acted like I said, I'd be a kicker.
Well, because you have a helmet on, it's a very difficult position. There's a lot of position.
My rationale was you get to hit people.
Yeah.
And you get to make interceptions. Let's be honest. It's Dallas, and everyone you're tackling doesn't look like the people that live in Dallas. Like, when you fucking stick Randy Moss as he comes over the middle, boom!
The problem is that
Billy Bates really wasn't that great of a football player. He just laid the wood to black athletes every Sunday.
But the problem now
Billy
is that
Bates.
when you're a cornerback, there's just so much pressure on the position because the tight ends and wide receivers are 6'5", 6'6", and you got to have speed. It's a lot of pressure, man.
Right,
and plus, once you lose a step, you're no longer. I remember Adam Archuleta, he tested in the NFL Combine. He tested like off the charts.
He was never a corner, though. He was a linebacker.
He was a safety, actually.
He was a linebacker at ASU.
Yeah, and then they made him a safety. But like as soon as he lost a step, see ya. So
I don't know if he lost a step as much as he lost his medulla oblongata. He really knocked himself silly. He came to see my show in Vegas once at Harrah's, where I'm going back. I think there's a commercial up top. But at Harrah's, him and I forget. I think it's the guy that's with.
He's not going to be at Vancouver at the Comedy Mix in Vancouver, where I'm going to be January 26th, 27th, and 28th.
You're going to be at the Comedy Mix?
Yeah, in Vancouver. I didn't know. Was it at Harrah's or was it the Comedy Mix in January?
I think it was at the Comedy Mix in Vancouver,
where I'm going to be
January
26th, 27th, and
26th.
Because that's where I'm going to be. I'm just saying.
January 27th.
Yeah.
And January 28th, the Comedy Mix in Vancouver.
That's where.
It's funny you say
talking about
that
where I'm going to be, or
because March 30th.
Right.
I'm going to be at River Rock Casino.
Get out of here.
In Vancouver.
That's only 2 months away from my birthday. That's crazy.
And let's promote the birthday.
January 26th. I'll be like 30 or something.
Adam Archuleta came to my show in Vegas at Harrah's with Jessica Simpson's now boyfriend. Was he a long snapper? I'm being serious.
Who? Romo? You mean Romo?
No. The guy she's with now. He's like he's like a third string tight end.
Oh shit!
Right?
She likes him big, huh?
No, it was the guy. All right, anyway, some guy was with Adam Archuleta, and Adam Archuleta came to my show, and I'd met him through like Wayne Corbett and other guys, and one of his eyes was literally like floating up around, like when you meet somebody with a crazy eye.
Oh boy! But
I saw him a week earlier, and he had regular eyes. And I go, "What's up with your eye?" And he goes, I just knocked myself out. But like totally regular talk.
Well, those dudes, if you ever look at pro football players' fingers and the way they limp, and it's like I met Dahani Jones one time, and
what a body!
Oh, forget it! Forget it! With the best looking white girl in the world, which I approve of wholeheartedly. Couldn't be a better looking black man.
If you had to go to jail and pick your cellmate, I'm going straight Donnie Jones.
I'd be his boyfriend. I'd be his girlfriend in a heartbeat.
I'd braid his hair.
He's the best looking guy I've ever seen in my life. And there was something that was I thought this guy should this is why I advocate mixed race relationships. We need to brown the race. I know. Hold on. What happened? The race meter just hit red hot, ladies and gentlemen.
Why do you promote it?
Guy. Because I think those genes should be everywhere. I think that Dahani Jones should go to China and have sex with all the people there.
Eventually, it's all going to wind up. Everyone's just going to be different beiges.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I like it. I was just down in Miami.
You're married to the blondest, whitest woman in the world.
Yeah, it's a problem. I went
Amanda
down to
Knox. I mean, it's a miracle what she came through.
I know. Amanda Knox is a good girl.
She goes through all that captivity, and she comes down, and like you just happen to be the guy she meets when she comes out the other side.
You know what? I've always been that kind of guy. I save women. If I have to see a blonde who's in need of help, I just swoop in on my horse.
The little girl in the well. What was her name? You just pulled her out and groomed her.
That's how I work out. I did reps with her.
17th birthday, he said, you should really emancipate from your parents. All right, let me get back on track. That's why I got to write stuff down.
Sorry.
So I said cornerback for the Dallas Cowboys. Everybody acted like I was a maniac.
Yeah.
We know now that the people on the show with me were just argumentative, kind of creepy guys.
Yeah.
But then your answer, do you remember what it was?
I think I either said, I can tell you, I don't remember, but I can tell you, I'm sure what I said was either a tennis player so I could wear a bandana or a European soccer player so I could also wear a bandana. That way I could grow my hair long and I could run and push it out of my eyes. And I've always wanted to be a guy in shorts with thick hair in my eyes so that I can flip. I wouldn't even wear a bandana. I would constantly flip it. I'd do a neck flip. Because I think that's a great look for a guy.
But it all comes back to hair with you, was my original
That's fucking
point.
right. It actually all goes down.
You don't want to be an international soccer star because you'll make $100 million. No. You just want hair to flip.
That's exactly right.
That's
fantastic. I want hair, and I want to run my fingers through my hair when it's a little sweaty, so girls coo.
I know what you want to do on the tennis court. Just tuck it behind the ear. At Roland Garros,
that's exactly
when it gets real hot, when you're playing on clay,
dude,
you get a little sweaty.
You know what I would do?
Let me tell you, there's no greater joy than when I'm on that treadmill right there, and I'm up around 7.5 miles an hour. I'm doing like my interval training, and I get a little sweaty. My hair's longer than this. Just tuck it behind the ear. It's a little girly, but it's like, you know what? I'm obviously a man.
I'll do you one better. I'll do you one better. Second set, it's hot. I reach into my bag. I pull out a plastic beret. I want those those headband barrettes that goes around, and I just push my hair. But they're like, he can't do that. He can't do. Holy shit! It looks fucking really good on him.
A beret, like a Sasha Vujovic.
You know the one?
Is that the guy from the Lakers?
It's a plastic
strap.
one that goes all the way around your head this way. Yeah. I wear, and girls wear. I shop at a girl store. I put it on, and maybe it's coral colored. And he can't wear that. There's no way he looks fucking good. That's what they do. There's no way he can. I can't believe. That actually looks really good on him.
Second show.
And then I go and win.
You're all sweaty.
Fucking
sweaty.
You put
that beret on, you start winning.
And by the way, as I become more and more famous, in second set, by the time I'm even reaching into my fucking bag, the whole fucking place, every girl's like, ah! he's going to do it. And I just go like this slow motion and just put my fucking beret on. And you know that I'm going to win the fucking game because I'm the androgynous one.
It's like Jim Jeffries reaching for his beer on his special. You reach for different berets.
Only I have hair on my forearms. I'd have to shave that down. I want to be...
You were very you almost have body dysmorphia.
I have almost. I'm a mess.
You are built almost exactly like one of the Ruelas brothers, the fighters.
I love hearing that.
You're built like a 5'10", 160-pound Mexican boxer.
Yeah.
But you would cut to like 152.
I would cut down to I think I could cut down to 145 if I had to.
No, you couldn't.
I'm 170 now. Yes, I could.
I'm 206, and it's all gut.
Jesus.
Isn't it weird when you saw my stomach?
I don't see your stomach. I get so lost in your eyes. They say so much. There's so much character.
From my diaphragm up and from my pubes down, I'm built like a defensive back.
But Bubba, you have a very good...
But then in my belly, I'm Kevin James.
That's right. But you have very broad shoulders.
You told me I was intimidating.
You have an athlete's body. You just let yourself go a little bit.
But like this morning, I'm running on the beach and doing the calisthenics.
Well,
and the juice cleanse.
I recommend you read a book called The 4-Hour Body.
Got it.
Tim Ferriss.
He's a little long-winded. Why don't you just cut to the part, no white food? I mean, really? Come on, Tim.
He is a tad long-winded, but he does explain the mechanics, and he approaches things from a scientific point of view. And I'm a scientist, Jay. I'm a scientist.
You are a scientist.
I was giving my buddy advice. He's a Wall Street guy the other day about how to lose weight. And he's like, oh, yeah, okay, lentils in the morning. Yeah, right, yeah. Because I'm talking about him to him about insulin. He's like, that's great, insulin. Hey, let me ask you something. Where'd you get your degree? Just wondering. When did you get that? Before theater school, or was that after theater school? Where you got your degree in nutrition and being a doctor? And he hung up on me, and that was the end of it.
But this is probably a guy that asked you for advice.
Yeah, he did.
And Wall Street guys are wound tight. They get after it. But they get up so fucking early.
Oh, dude, but they're such consuming maniacs. They just consume.
Yeah.
Hookers. There's a service you can buy there's a service where a van picks you up. It'll drive you from downtown uptown, and in the back of the van is a fucking a mattress and a very good looking hooker, and you can bang her as you're being driven home.
It's not exactly the jitney that takes you from the Sheridan in Temple, Texas to Scott White Cancer Hospital. Very different van rides we've been on.
You are correct.
I just remember my grandfather was at Scott White Hospital in Temple, Texas, and it's amazing when you get old, the things that excite you.
Yeah.
He goes, he was in a motorhome, he goes, the jitney comes right outside the motorhome, takes me right to my chemo every day. I'm like, well, that's great. You know, you're either going to live or die, we'll get through it. He goes, you don't understand. The jitney comes right, like he was obsessed with the fact that this like courtesy van came to the motorhome park and
right to his door.
Yeah, he goes, the jitney.
That's a war. That's a war generation. That's people who went through the shit.
Yeah,
and they're just, and the fact that somebody comes to pick them up and they don't have to hoof it 2 miles with a rucksack on their back and a canteen,
or getting their own pickup truck.
We're fucking soft, this generation. Okay,
I've
never gone a day without having
stomach?
to eat. Nah, because it's all squared up and I'm wearing a leotard and I got to unsnap it under here.
You wrestled in high school.
Yeah.
And you have cauliflower ears.
Well, I got a little bit.
But I don't understand because we couldn't even practice without headgear.
I wore headgear all the time.
So how do you get cauliflower ears?
I don't know. I just over the years, and then I wrestled. I did a lot of jiu-jitsu and stuff.
It'd be funny if you were born with them and like you got super shape.
Exactly. Like, how about that? But guys wear it like a badge. I was always paranoid.
I wish I had them.
I was always paranoid. I always wore my headgear because I didn't want them.
When I look at a Bryan Callen, you're a guy that when I look at, I go, this guy. There's just some guys you see and you go, yeah, you don't want any part of this person. Like there's few when you're a grown up.
Yeah.
You especially, me especially,
yeah.
Guys like Rogan, like Rogan's off the charts as far as like fighting and he's the Michael Jordan. The rest of us are just two guards.
Yeah.
But like when you become a grown up who has been in fights and can fight, like the rest of the world just goes flotsam, jetsam, detritus, all at your feet. And every once in a while you see Bryan Callen, you go, yeah, I don't want any fucking piece of this. This is a problem.
But I
like if you're at a bar yelling,
yeah,
I'm not going to go, hey buddy, I'm going to go, we should go. Do you know what I mean? And it's either a guy like you or a guy like like Chappie, my friend Chappie, or like Rogan, where you go, yeah, we should get out of here. Or it's an enormous group of people. Like my wife and I last year went to a Rangers game at Madison Square Garden, and they were such drunken fucking degenerate fans. I
stay away from that shit. I hate a crowd. I hate a mob.
I don't mind a crowd, but a crowd where you go.
Mob. That's a mob.
I went to a Kings game last week. It was like a bunch of parents and kids.
That's fine.
It was fun.
But what you're describing is a
Rangers
mob.
Bruins
That's a
game. I said to my wife after the first intermission, I go, we have to go. She goes, why? I go, and I just picked her up. I'm like, we got to go.
It's like Jet fans. There's a big difference between Jets fans and Giants fans, in my opinion. There's just
green and blue.
There's the Jet fans are just that you can get in a fight at a Jets game. I saw a fight spill into the fucking field in the Jets game.
Really?
Yeah, unbelievable. Just
at
spilled right in the field. Yeah, right. Just right. Cold day. Kids got no shirt on. Come on, let's fucking go. He's challenging the entire stadium. Let's fucking go.
And they get the security guys. They call them the Killer Bees. For those of you that live in the Inland Empire and don't know what we're talking about, they're only called the